is up, my Mini Maniacs? This is Ryanimaniac here to bring you insanity to your everyday lives. And welcome to Manic Movies, the series where I'll take a look at a movie I feel like I want to talk about. And welcome to week 5 of my Halloween marathon, in which place we'll be taking a look at Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Boy, was this one a trip. So this film sort of picks up from the events of the last film, that really, with the ending of Jamie killing her mom and having the evil of Michael pass into her. Now that's all just kind of been abandoned for no real reason, honestly, other than, I guess, people thought that would have been stupid to have a little girl running around with a knife, and so now it's been changed to where, oh, Jamie didn't actually kill her mom, she now just injured her, and because of that she was put into a children's psychiatric clinic where now she's mute for some unexplained reason, really. And now it's revealed she has some sort of psychic link to Michael, who managed to survive the events of the last film because he fell down a well and ended up in a river and was taken care of by a hobo for a year until that next Halloween. And so now it's essentially the events from the last film again, except now everything's even crazier. I'm not gonna lie, so far out of all the films I've been watching for the series, this one has been the hardest to get through. Because you know how the last film, I said, it kind of dragged on in some areas, not really a whole lot going on. This one decided to multiply that, and even throw annoying and idiotic characters at you. Like, for example, these other teens that are friends of Jamie's sister Rachel are introduced into the movie, and they're all, well, for the most part, all of them are extremely annoying. Like, you got this greaser dude who's obsessed with his car, and her best friend Tina, who's crazy, just bubbly personality. And you got another friend of hers, Sammy, I think it is, I don't know, who didn't really stand out in any way. Then her boyfriend was this weird, freaking nutcase. I don't know what's up with this guy. Shocker, spoiler alert, by the way, they all die. And then you just have these idiotic cops who, you know, despite constant warnings of Michael's out there, be careful, they're just like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's not like this dude killed dozens and dozens of people or anything. No, let's just sit here and play Crazy Eights. Like, ugh. Unfortunately, even Sam Loomis, good old Dr. Loomis, has suffered this fate, because now, as opposed to the last film where he's kind of this, you know, this voice of reason, trying to get through to everybody, now he's just as crazy as everybody thinks he is. Because he's spending the whole movie going, Jamie, you need to help me find him, and just, he's just gone completely off his rocker on this one. Completely nuts. None of the real acting stood out in this one, other than, I want to say, Danielle Harris again, because, like I said before, Jamie has become mute in this film for some odd, unexplained reason. She's just mute in this version, and I don't know, she does a good job of portraying that scared, she's trying to tell everybody what's going on, but she can't because she can't speak. I mean, up until halfway into the movie where she just suddenly talks again. For, again, an unexplained reason. Just suddenly is able to talk. And I just hated that, because I felt like that whole she can't talk thing was sort of a scary idea. That you're trying to constantly tell everybody, you know what's going on, but you can't vocalize it in any way. But then they decided, let's just get rid of that, you know? I mean, her sister Rachel's a lot better in this film, I guess. And I only say that because they kill her off in like the first half hour. Yeah. Like, what? this big character that was a big part of the last film, you're just gonna go, oh yeah, let's just kill her off. And even like the original actors came back too, and she was like glad to come back, and was super upset that they just killed her off. Michael in this film, I feel, was a little bit better than the last movie. He's not spending the whole movie, you know, with his shoulders hunched up like this. His mask is a little bit better. I mean, it looks something more like some more work went into it as opposed to just this super cheap, surprised look. It's got that, I mean, it's got that weird elongated face and all, but I don't know, it feels like it's trying to look like the original in some way, I don't know. As opposed to the last one where they just go, hey, let's just slap some paint on some random mask and, you know, call it a day. I don't want to necessarily say he's scarier in this film, because his behavior is extremely sporadic in this one. Like there's a scene where he's pretending to be Tina's boyfriend and driving her to, and she gets into the car with him, and he puts on a new mask, which is interesting. I don't think he's ever put on another mask. I mean, other than the regular white, you know. So that was an interesting scene. He doesn't really seem to have a reason for changing masks. I don't know. It was different. But for whatever reason, he just acts super calm for whatever reason. Like, as calm as Michael could be, at least. I mean, he drives her to a store so she can pick up cigarettes and drives past, and she's like, pull over, I want to pick up cigarettes, and proceeds to go back. Like, why would you do that? I don't understand in the slightest why his behavior is so weird and all over the place, but I don't know. It's still better than the last film, I want to say, because at least, like I said, he's not hunched up all the time going, I mean, he does spend a good chunk of his time on screen just holding his knife like this and walking around, and it looks kind of weird, but it's better than And like I said, the major flaw of this is that it's so boring. There's hardly anything ever going on. It's just random scenes of people, like, it'll be Rachel's friends talking to each other, and they're just talking about absolute nonsense. You're like, why are we holding on these two? Do something! Instead of just going, and then it'll just come back to Loomis, oh, Jamie, you gotta help me! I can't help you! No, you gotta help me, man! And just... ugh. I spent the whole movie just sitting there going, do something! Do something! And I mean, when it gets to the killing, I guess those are interesting. Not necessarily violent, because most of the gore seems to happen off screen, but I don't know, it was something as opposed to just just people standing around talking. And again, I know that was like what it was in the original, but in the original they wanted to make you care about the people by making them be believable and likable, as opposed to just talking about absolute nonsense, babbling on for like 5-10 minutes, to which point you're screaming, oh my gosh, I want Michael to kill you! You are so annoying! And just... ugh. It was so very difficult to get through. But, again, there were some things I liked about it, like when there are those scenes of people just blabbing on about nothing. I like that Michael is kind of wandering around the background, and, you know, the movie doesn't even really bring any attention to it. It's just kind of he's there. Or there'll be these moments in which, you know, a dog starts barking somewhere, and it'll cut to a bush with like a limb moving back and forth, but you don't see Michael anywhere. I feel like those scenes are actually really good, because I find that just, I don't know, I feel like that was done well. That felt like Michael, where, you know, He's not being loud in your face, going brrr. I mean, like he is in the later part of this movie. He's slow and subtle and quiet. But yeah, overall, I want to say this has so far just been the hardest one to get through because, again, it's so slow and dull and boring and nothing is happening for most of the time. And it's not like the original where it's building suspense. It's just, you're just sitting there waiting, going, okay, this person's gonna die. Why are we spending so much time with these people? We know they're gonna die. Overall, I think I'm going to give this one a 2 or 3 out of 10. It kind of varies, honestly. Because like I said, it's so slow and boring and it doesn't really do a lot. But there are those small little snippets of ideas which were really interesting. Like her being mute, I felt like was a good twist until, they ruined that. And then Michael being a little more subtle than he was in the last film until they ruined that. Yeah, but honestly, I would not recommend this one because it is just so slow, boring, nothing really happening, and just these very annoying characters throughout the movie, and it just makes it hard to get through. So I personally won't recommend it. I suppose there's people out there who might like this one, but I honestly cannot stand this one. It was such a pain to get through. And that only makes me scared for the movies going forward, because they're the ones that most people say are the bad ones. Oh dear. So yeah, that was week 5 of Halloween week. We're now halfway through the Halloween series. I'm kind of interested to see how my thoughts on this series have changed as I grew up. Because when I grew up, I remember most of these sequels being decent enough, and not these super slow, boring things. I'm interested to just see how my opinions have grown and changed after watching these movies so many years later. And I don't know, it'll be an interesting experience to see the other half of these films, because I don't really remember a lot of them very well. So anyways, with all that, thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe if you want to see more of these movie reviews or any videos going on, whatever I'm up to at this point, I don't know. Also, I'd like you guys to comment and give a suggestion of something I should take a look at, a movie I should look at, because there may be a movie out there you guys might want me to watch that I might want to look at, and I might have something to say about it. But anyways, with all that being said, stay sane in the insane world, and I will see you little loonies later.